going to go crazy. They're showing it up on the big screen here. Marcus Smart's going to return. Tatum, Smart, step back, three-pointer. It's good!
I just need someone in my life to give it structure, to handle all the selfish ways I'd spend my time without her. You're everything I want, but I can't deal with all your lovers. You're saying I'm the one, but it's your actions that speak louder. Giving me love when you are down and need another. I've gotta get away and let you go. I've gotta get over.
Is still.
Yeah, you should not be that good at 36 or whatever he is.
He's just like, I mean, he's just like, Steph is just like, just an all-time great point guard, like top 2.
Top 10 player all time.
Yeah, I don't even think you can argue he's not top 2 point guard now. But a top 10 all time, I don't know. But like on point guard side, I think you can only argue Magic, and like that's even top. Like that, honestly, Steph has an argument against him. So it's like, I don't know who else you'd argue over Steph.
Magic got more accolades and stuff.
Yeah, he has more championships, I think, right? No, they both have 4.
Steph, yeah. I think he has more MVPs. Steph has 2.
I think Magic got 5 titles, right?
I'm gonna look it up.
That's a good question.
We have the power to do this.
Are you eating chicken nuggets?
Chicken tenders.
From where?
The bag in my freezer from Tyson.
True.
I didn't get to eat dinner. I worked all day, so
He's a 5-time champ, 3-time MVP, so that's more.
Yeah, I think Magic is still safely. I mean, barring something unforeseeable.
And the 3 finals MVPs, yeah.
Barring Steph Curry pulling off the greatest second half of a career ever, I don't think he's going to surpass Magic.
Yeah.
Top 10 is an interesting argument. I think he's top 10.
I mean, if you put Magic top 10, and we're just arguing, like we're kind of arguing, like if he could be one spot above him, like as in like he could be like 11th or like 12th, and that'd make a lot of sense to me right now.
Is he better than John Stockton?
He's though with the team he's playing on is pretty impressive.
Is he better than John Stockton?
Yeah.
Is he better than Allen Iverson?
Yeah.
Is he better than Isaiah?
But Allen Iverson's not in the top 20 all-time debate.
Is he better than Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
I think Isaiah Thomas is
eventually Steph did more for sure.
I think Isaiah Thomas is a little bit overrated, to be honest.
I don't even think Isaiah might have one MVP or maybe not even any. I think Steph individually is like crazy better.
I don't think Isaiah has any MVPs.
But Isaiah is legendary. He's probably like, I don't know. Yeah,
think it might be a
no.
little bit
I
overrated.
think I
it
think
might be
Isaiah ver- I think Isaiah versus like Chris Paul is good.
Isaiah's a 12-time All-Star, the assist champion in 84-85, the 2-time NBA champ, 5-time All-NBA. Yeah, no MVPs. Finals MVP.
That's why I think him versus like someone like Chris Paul will be a good debate in the end.
Oh, he clears Chris Paul by a mile.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even think Chris Paul's
I
top
think if you
50.
look at all Chris Paul's individual numbers, it's gonna be better. Like what did Isaiah only have 5 All-NBAs?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that Chris Paul is gonna have more. So like, and that means he wasn't the top 3 guard in more than 5 years.
Mhm.
Isn't
No,
that
but
how-
he
a little bit more
he
stacked.
was. He definitely was.
I think it was a little bit more stacked back in the 80s, too, with guards.
I mean, Magic. Well, no, they didn't play in the same conference. Well, they play. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it did Magic, and then they went right into.
I mean, but Chris Paul has
Stockton.
11 All-NBAs, 5-time assist champ, 12 NBA, 12 All-Star, 6-time steal champ, 9-time all defense. I feel like Chris Paul is definitely close to him.
How many chips?
But again, I mean, that's tough though. I think that Chris Paul's better individually.
This is ring culture, Jacob. Ring culture.
I know,
Well, yeah,
right?
but Isaiah
Bad boy
won too, and
Pistons.
he was the MVP for one of them. So it wasn't like he just like.
It was the bad boy Pistons though. Like yeah.
Yeah, it was him and.
I think
Pippen.
he
I mean, not
deserves those
Pippen.
chips, though.
Fucking.
Well, I think I'm giving those chips a lot of credit because I'm saying it makes up for the 6 All NBA discrepancy, you know.
The fact that, yeah, I mean, the fact that I really hold a lot of stock in those Pistons championships because they snuck two, like they snuck two right in there between Jordan and the Magic and Bird era, and like, you know,
Came
that,
right at the end of the Hakeem era, and then right before the Jordan era.
yeah, they really like they battled some hard fucking all-time teams,
Mhm.
and they were in the Eastern Conference Finals like every year almost with Isaiah.
They had their window, and they took advantage of it, and they capitalized when the shot was there. They took it.
But I could see the argument. I think Curry's just for how he's changed the game alone. Not to mention the championships, the MVPs.
Gameplay wise, it hurts your brain to think how much Curry's has changed it. Like it really
He's
hurts your brain.
revolutionized the game.
It really like you start it's almost like thinking about space. You're like, it's just too much. You're like, holy crap, yeah. Like forever, we're just gonna like it might have happened eventually anyway, but he was the person who ushered it in, that's for sure.
Mm.
Like it's just crazy. Everyone's just shooting from so far now. I feel like he was the first person to make it his game, his like style, basically. Like some people who do it in desperation, but
Nobody shot threes the way he does. He does it like on purpose. Like that's
I mean,
his-
he may not have invented it. Like I don't know, maybe he has an argument for inventing it. He perfected it. There'll
Yeah.
never be another person better than him at what he does, which everybody in the league tries to do. Who's not a big, you know.
I don't think he perfected it first, though.
Who did.
I think it was probably Ray Allen or Reggie Miller. Those are the first guys to ever really use the three-point line as a weapon, and then he just decided to take it to another level with the high-paced offense that there are now.
Yeah, but I don't think Ray Allen and Steph Curry do the same thing like at all. Like Steph's handling the ball.
Well, back when Ray Allen was on the Bucks, he was.
Yeah,
I only remember Ray Allen on the Celtics when he was a spot-up shooter. Well, it's not even a spot-up shooter. He's running off the screens and everything like that, like Kyle Korver does. But that's how we remember him. But when he was on the Bucks, he was dominating people.
but Steph's still doing it at 36, and Ray Allen was retired at this point, I think. So
he was either that he was still collecting chips on the Heat.
And there's also like the fact that the new science nowadays and everything that you can play longer without the advances in science and taking care of your body. When back in the day you couldn't do that.
well,
Like,
you
I would
say
argue
that,
Isaiah
but
Thomas's career wasn't very long, right? Because he was always injured and fucked up his ankle and put up 45 and on a sprained ankle in the playoffs one time. Like,
he
Yeah, they
played
were all like
he played
Converse.
979 games, which doesn't seem like a ton.
They were all in like Converse back then, basically like
12 seasons maybe.
He played until he was 32.
Yeah, retired at 32. Like that's early retirement. Like nowadays, you got guys on the bench at like 36. Like Jeff Green's still playing in the league.
the LeBron of
I
role
mean,
play.
LeBron. But
Yeah,
also, like Steph Curry's
Take
career
LeBron
was
and
like
put him in his
marred
own
by
category,
injuries.
so.
Like the first 2 seasons of his career were like he didn't even play.
Who, Isaiah?
No, Steph.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah.
fucked up ankles.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
actually
a big
crazy
one.
how he's like that didn't haunt him really, which is kind of awesome.
That's
Like,
how he fell to the Warriors. That's how they got him because of the ankle problems.
I don't know.
Him and Monta Ellis. Remember those days? Him and Monta Ellis were running like the first two scoring guard lineups that we would ever seen. That was
Yeah, I
fun.
love Monta.
He was fun. Everywhere he went, he was a bucket.
That Brandon Jennings and Monta team was fun.
What is Isaiah Thomas's nickname? Z, plural.
Zeke?
Yeah, that's
Zeke.
all. That's
Zeke's
really all.
number one.
Oh, he's got a couple weird ones. I know that.
Can you get another one?
There's another one like Sugar or something like that.
No.
Something stupid.
The
Probably.
baby-faced assassin.
He still does look like a giant baby.
Yeah,
He's a
he is-
good-looking guy. Tuss. Tuss. Tuss.
Might be his middle name or something like that.
And pocket magic.
That seems like wildly disrespectful. To
Yeah,
call
is he
it
just like you can fit him
Pocket
in
Magic
pocket?
when you played at the same time as Magic. That seems wild disrespectful.
Yeah.
That was like
Isaiah,
when they called
Isaiah's
Bird
middle
Baby.
name is Lord.
Why the fuck would you ever change it to Isaiah? I'd be fucking call me Lord, motherfucker.
Isaiah Lord Thomas III.
Yeah. How is that not his nickname? The Lord.
Big fire. We got guys in the league called Precious now.
First name, not a nickname.
And they're not even that good.
No, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's just a
Knicks
role
are
player.
nasty now.
No, I mean, maybe he ends up on the Celtics.
Who? Precious?
I don't know. Just another
No,
fucking
he's on.
thing.
He plays like valuable minutes for the Knicks now.
Yeah, the Knicks are nasty with him.
Yeah. They don't have a center. I mean, they have Hartenstein, but with Mitchell Robinson out,
And
Yeah,
Randall's out
He's
too.
injured as hell all the time, man. He's like Rob Williams, but like doesn't get shit on for it like Rob did.
that's an interesting storyline we missed out on this year. How Rob was going to do in a different system.
I think you would have been screwed in that system. There's no real point guard over there.
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out next year.
Hopefully
Honestly-
they draft a real point guard.
Remind me on my birthday. I'm gonna blow my wishes for him.
They have Scoot Henderson.
Healthy.
Yeah, but isn't he averaging like 4 assists a game or something like that? Like he's not like
No, Scoot's
still
been
trying to figure out the game. I don't think it would have been fun for Rob to watch a rookie trying to figure out the game while you're wide open for lobs.
And if you watch them ever, like Anthony is just kind of like an ISO god. He's kind of perfect for what's going on. Like Anthony's, I don't know if he would be that good on a really winning team. He's just kind of like Cam Thomas on like steroids when it comes to like, Anthony's so good.
And he's tall.
Spencer
Blair.
Dinwiddie.
But he's just kind of the way he plays right now is because he's on a bad team and he's just kind of going nuts like ISO.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah,
Nobody's stopping you. Like,
they have Aiden. Just
yeah, Rob would have been losing out on minutes to dominating over there.
I'd play them together.
Yeah, I mean, how good of a passer is Aiden? Is he any good at that?
I would hope so. He's a fucking number one overall pick. I don't think he
Yeah,
is,
dude.
but
You know what he said? Did you hear the quote that he had last week? He said, "I'm a max player. I don't have anything left to prove to anybody." It's like, dude, you're averaging like 10 and fucking 9 as a fucking number one overall pick. Like, what are you talking about? You have nothing to prove. You're a max player. You're a
I
max.
appreciate the confidence.
I hate the confidence. You got to be hungry and want more. Imagine if Jaylen Brown this year was like, "Nah, I'm a max player. I don't need to prove anything." Like he stepped up his game tremendously this
Yeah,
year.
he did. He did.
His
Dude,
numbers,
Aiden's-
his numbers went down, but you can just say his game-to-game play is just through the roof.
Aiden's averaging 13.8 and 10.
Yeah, he's averaging a double-double. I mean, that's not a max player in my books, but Rudy
What's
Gobert got
Isaiah
paid.
Hardenstein averaging?
That's different though. Rudy's different. Aiden doesn't even play defense.
Yeah, I was saying Isaiah Hardenstein. I wasn't even saying Rudy. Like Rudy's a different animal. You can't put
Yeah,
his
he's like he's honestly one of the only players in the league where you look at their stats and it's not really real. Him and
Hartenstein's averaging 6.9 nice and 8.8 rebounds a game with 2 assists.
Yeah,
Not-
so I
not
get
double-double.
7 and 9 from fucking Isaiah Hartenstein for what, like $5 million a year. I can pay a max player to get me 12 and 10. Like,
One thing that's cool about this Trailblazers team is they have that random guy that they found that's like been really good for them. Like his name's like Duop Reith. Did you see that?
Doo-wop.
Oh yeah, Duop Reef. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like they like picked him up, and I think he's like not even from America, and he wasn't even he didn't go to he might not even like been really like on the draft board, and he kind of just showed up out of nowhere through their G League system. And yeah, he's averaging 9 and 4, which is kind of good for a random rookie they just picked up out of like literally nowhere.
yeah. Them finding that's pretty good because Scoot hasn't been what they needed him to be so far. He hasn't been efficient at all.
Isaiah Hartenstein's getting paid $9 million this year. 9.2 million.
Yeah, honestly, like if you're gonna put up the numbers comparatively, I'd rather pay Hardenstein because Aiden's apparently a ball stopper, and he's not giving you that much more.
He's
He
also
can't
on
get
a
out of his
lot better
driveway.
of a team.
He's a vibe killer though. Like Aiton's just a vibe killer, it seems.
Yeah, he can't even get out of his own driveway because it's too much ice.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem with Isaiah Hardenstein. You know he lives in like an apartment complex or something.
It's an insane fucking.
Also, like Hardenstein's numbers are like going to be down because he plays with Julius Randle and he played with R.J. Barrett and Brunson. So
Why
he's not
can't
even
they
getting
just-
like he's not even
Not
involved.
RJ anymore. Now it's OG who's actually great for them.
And it's OG now too, so he's not even involved in their offense. He's just getting everything off of rebounds basically.
No, whenever you watch the Knicks, like he's kind of just an energy guy that's just like
Yeah,
very good at that.
he was he's like a Leon Poe almost. Not really running shit for him, but he's gonna go get his.
A taller one.
Why the
Much
fuck
better.
can I see his points per game stat? It's pissing me off.
Well,
Oh, here we go. Never mind. Sorry. He's a block and a steal. Let's see. Dominating.
I think Aiton gets paid a lot though too.
blocking a steal is pretty good too for Hardenstein.
Aiton's averaging 13.8 and 10 boards, and I'll round up 2 assists, 1.6 assists. He's averaging 1 steal and a shade under 1 block. He's 0.7 blocks, so again.
Like I said, bang for your buck worth, I'd probably take Hardenstein. I
He's
don't have to
he's getting paid fucking what does
30
it say?
million, something like that.
Aiton gets paid a lot.
He's getting paid by it says the Phoenix Suns are paying him 30 million this year. 32 million
Yeah, so
for the Trailblazers.
$32 million for like 4 more points and 2 more boards.
What a bad deal for the Suns.
What's the efficiency? Free throw. He's an 80% free throw shooter, which is shocking.
Who is Hayden?
Yeah.
He's got a nice touch. He's got a nice little mid-range jumper. Like I don't. He should be smart
56% from the field. Oof.
as your center.
He's a center.
Because he takes a lot of like middies and stuff. Like I think that's one of like the struggles with him is that he doesn't play like as strong as he can.
Yeah, Hartenstein's 61% field goal percentage, 33% from 3, a 70% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's just very serviceable, which is what they need.
It's about as hot of a take as you're going to get out of me with all the NBA that I watch. Is that I'd rather have Isaiah Hardenstein than dominating on my team.
I mean, for the price, yeah, you're not wrong.
We'd Hart like I would take Hartenstein over Aiton on our team, that's for sure.
He still is 25 years old.
I mean, dude, you're 25. He's been in the league since he was 19. You're 6 years into your NBA contract, and you haven't been able to figure it out yet.
Yeah, but like,
You're claiming
was
you have
Tatum
nothing left to prove.
well, that's crazy. But is Tatum? Was Tatum who he was going to be at 25? No.
No, but you saw the progression every single year. You haven't seen any progression from Aiden.
Well, he did make that. He did make a finals.
His
No, they
attitude
got carried to a finals.
No.
D-Book
doesn't-
was going crazy with that team.
Well, yeah.
I just don't think he's gonna be getting better. Like he doesn't really seem like he has a good attitude right now. Maybe if
Well,
someone
if
can
you say you have nothing left to prove, you're not going to get better next year.
Well,
maybe
that's
it's
insane. I
shake
can't
him
believe
up.
you said that shit.
someone has to shake him up. like
That's
like
going to be a very
KG
large human being.
KG needs to grab his shoulders and just be like, ah!
He needs to get back on the fucking roids. That was when he was good.
His comparison scores are he's compared through 5 seasons to Mitchell Robinson, that's his equal, Mehmet Okur, Caldwell Jones, Tom Owens, Jamal McGlure, Jonas Valanciunas, Brad Daugherty, Jared Allen, and Ray Felix. That's like the closest comparison.
Jonas, I mean, if he ends up being Jonas, that'd be not good for a #1 pick, but Jonas is better than him right now, at least.
I mean, you have Jared Allen. I mean,
Yeah, Jared Allen.
but I mean, like those guys also like a lot of those guys you mentioned have great defense. Yeah, I don't think he has a great defense.
I mean, if he ended up being Brad Daugherty, I think that'd be
Brad
solid.
Doherty would have been really good for a long time if he didn't get injured so much.
5-time
Well,
All-Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, Aiden doesn't like Aiden's attitude problem kind of feeds into the fact he's not good at defense because he kind of doesn't give effort there.
Also, Brad Doherty has the most smooth voice of all time.
I've never heard it.
Southern drawl. They have him on ESPN every once in a while. Or they used to, anyways.
I'm
Big
sure
star.
I have heard it, but I haven't. Can't recall it.
I think he calls college games now or something too.
Yeah, I think that might be where I heard him.
Yeah, I think he does like I don't remember what conference he does because I know all those guys usually stay in conference, but he's pretty good. I like him.
Can you guess what his nickname is?
The Big Dipper.
No, close.
Oh God, what is it?
The Big Dookie.
Oh, probably because he went to Duke.
He went to UNC.
Oh, it's fucking hell.
Big Dookie, and it's spelled like Dukie. Also, Hooch, which is a sick
Out
nickname.
of Duke every year, so they called him the Big Dookie.
Big Dookie. He's from North Kakalaki. All right, shall we do this? Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring your hosts, me, Cody Adams, him, Jacob Pierce, and Steve Crowley taking a delicious sip of Perrier.
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death. Okay, I'm sorry. No free ads. We're coming to
Fancy.
we're coming to you live on February 6th, 2024. Happy Black History Month to everybody out there. The Celtics are your league best 38-12, coming off a homestand or in the middle of a homestand. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. I like that Jacob quick counts you in. It really keeps you on your toes.
Yep.
Like, who was that pitcher that used to pitch for the Giants? Who used to do all the funky shit where you would like turn and face the second baseman for like 30 seconds and then throw it?
Tim Lincecum?
I was gonna say, was it Tim? Or was it Manbaum?
He was nice with it.
Brad Wilson.
No, I don't remember the guy's name. later.
Bumgarner was a crazy guy.
This is a basketball podcast. So I'm getting off track here. Celtics look good. A couple stinkers in there, but you know that's bound to happen in January. Night to night.
Yeah, it's the season's getting a little more. We're getting to the end here. Of the regular season. February is a bit sparse in terms of games after the slog that January was. It was back to backs, 4-game weeks for the Celtics. It's really we're reaching some levity here in the schedule. But let's recap what happened last week. The C's, they beat the Pelicans at home 118-112. They handled the Pacers on the second night of a back-to-back, 129-124. And then the stinker, like you said, Steve, the shorthanded Lakers, that means no Anthony Davis and no LeBron James, came in and they smacked the Celtics 114-105. But we welcomed Marcus Smart back to the Garden. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies season is down the tubes. Everybody's hurt, including Marcus. He didn't play. And we basically beat a G League team 131-91. What your takeaways from some of these games?
I don't like. Well, I was gonna say with Steve, you said like a couple stinkers, but like it's kind of funny how like we're in such a good spot that like there's even negative. Like it was just 3-1 stretch. It's pretty darn. I'm pretty happy with that at least. I wish we didn't lose to the Lakers. It should have been 4-0, but it's funny how good we are. Like that. Like we just expect to go 4-0. Like and the first 2 games were pretty damn solid. Like I mean the Pelicans and Pacers are both playoff teams most likely. So
Yeah.
So it's like I mean the Pelicans game I felt like Who particularly went off? Was that a Jalen game?
There
I
was, I think it
believe
was Tatum taking over in the end in the fourth quarter.
one of those games he had 38, right?
Boy,
Yeah.
right now.
Can't remember. Good, good. We're a Celtics podcast. Don't know what we're talking about.
I mean, that's 4 games ago.
I was
But
listening to it on the radio. I didn't even get to watch it. So
the Pacers game was elite. It was honestly wicked fun. That in the like the Steve, you weren't watching live, right? I wish you saw the Keita moment live. That
uh,
I
I don't
legitimately
know.
yelled.
Oh no, I think actually I did see that one. I did see that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Like
fucking.
it was a double jump ball in a row, and it was just like a. I think
He
we were like
fucked up the
tied.
first one so bad.
I think we were like tied too at that time, so it was pretty damn emotional. Like everyone was just screaming, and then he had like another good moment too right after. That was solid. It was a solid win in a pretty close ending.
Yeah, you're seeing Kata get a lot of minutes here, which I think is good. I'm a fan of that. He's we have a group chat, and we were talking about I think it was the Lakers game, and I said early they just they don't have it, and the very hot take, they struggle against long teams. Pause, but our losses this year are to the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Bucks. Like these teams are big teams. We just have a hard time with size. And Steve, you brought up the point where it's not necessarily the size tonight. It's more an effort thing. They weren't putting in any effort. But when Neemias Queta came into that game, he sort of took over, and that lead the Lakers had built had gotten smaller and smaller as he kept hustling on the boards, and I think he made a high energy impact, and he sort of like tried to shoot a bolt of lightning into the Celtics, who were dead on arrival that night. So I'm a fan of Kada getting minutes. I don't know how much more we're going to see of him, considering the deadline, the buyout markets this week. But I think he's a good, not little, he's huge, a good lightning rod player. Like, he can give you some high energy and effort out there, and that was a huge takeaway I took away from this week.
Yeah, he's on a two-way contract, so we can just stash him in the G League until next year if we do make a trade for another big this year, and we have the roster spot available for him. So that
Can we
can.
send him down? I thought there was. Isn't there a deadline to send guys
Um,
down or up? No. Okay.
oh, yeah, it's like 50 something games played. It's not like for him to play, not for the Celtics to play.
Okay.
So like he could be on the team until the end of the season, but you can't play him in the playoffs if you don't sign him to a full time contract. So coming up at the trade deadline, if we don't pick up a big, then we can elevate him to the full time contract, and he'll be available for the playoffs for us,
Yeah.
which will be big because I really like him. I think he brings a lot of energy, a new look. We don't. I shouldn't say we don't have a lot of hustle guys because we do, but like not a ton of them that are coming with the kind of energy that he does
Yeah.
and an impact position like he has. Like you got like Brissett and you got Stevens, but they're not going to get a lot of minutes because you got Brown and Tatum, and they're also fighting with the guards with Drew and Derek.
Yeah.
But Kata can actually get minutes on this team, and he's an impact when he's in there.
Well, I guess we'll get to it later, but speaking of all-time hustle guys, the best one in my lifetime, Marcus came back in an emotional return. There was a tribute. Gorman was choked up on the mic. Just it was a love fest all around because he wasn't playing. I'm sure Marcus, when he's playing, even against if he's playing the Celtics, he's going to give you a Marcus Smart game. He's going to try and get in your head and die for balls and play hard nosed defense. But he came back. I really I was like choked up when they played that tribute, and I was like, man, I think he would be like a really good fit on this team, on the Celtics team, like on the bench. If he could be like your second point guard, man, like you clock out Drew Holiday and Derek White clock out there. They're going to get some rest on the bench, and then Marcus Smart's checking in to guard you. You're like, oh Jesus Christ. Uh, but obviously he's got a big contract, and we did draft him though, right? Yeah. So we could can't we overpay to get him?
You'd have to still be under. You have to overpay him on an extension to keep him
Oh,
because we traded him away.
damn.
Ooh, maybe we could get him late into his career.
I would like to see him make a return, man. He's just like one of my favorite players of all
I would
time.
love, like when he retires, just sign him to like a 1 day contract, have him retire to Celtic.
Yeah, I just don't see what good he's gonna do for that Grizzlies team. I don't know what the Grizzlies are at a weird are on a weird
I think
timeline.
the Grizzlies healthy. I think he'd make a big impact on that team. I
Yeah,
mean, his
maybe
starting lineup is Ja, him,
Desmond
Bane,
Bain.
Triple J, and Steven Adams. Like
Uh, uh,
a
uh,
lot of really good defenders. Well, no, Steven Adams got traded.
yeah, for
Right.
like for like
Brandon
nothing.
Clark.
Before it was Steven Adams, and that would have been a really good defensive team.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing. They might be like they might be trying to. I mean, Steven Adams is going to play this year. Maybe they're trying to like tank this year and get a good pick or something. I don't even know.
That definitely they're full. They're definitely folded up for the year. I mean, you saw the team they dragged out there.
They had 2 players
Yeah.
on their roster. The rest of them were all like 2-way players in like 10 days. They were missing 13 guys against the Celtics. They started a guy who was 5'8" in an NBA game, and it wasn't
Steph
Isaiah
Curry.
Thomas.
He actually was not. He was not bad. You're talking about what's his name?
Jacob Gilliard.
Gilliard. Yeah.
He was a
He blocked
bucket.
Steph Curry the next night, I think.
Yeah, well, Steph Curry stinks, so that's okay.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, we could talk about the Grizzlies a little bit more. I just don't think they're going to win anything with those two get with a team nucleus of Triple J and John Morant. I don't think that's winning you anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make some noise.
Yeah,
They
I mean
need-
they'll make some. They weren't they the 1 seed like a few years ago or last year?
Last year, yeah.
But then I mean they're not better than the Nuggets. They're not better than the Celtics.
Yeah, but they were a 1 seed, and then did John Morant get suspended at the end of last year?
Not in the playoffs.
Or was it after? No, he got hurt in the playoffs. That's what it was. In like the first round, he got hurt again. So that's the problem, is that they keep getting hurt. I don't know what deal they made with the devil, but it's coming back to bite them because Jesus Christ, to have 13 guys in your injury report on one night, I've never seen anything like that. That's a full roster on an injury report.
Bane was having a positive year, like almost of growth, and then he got injured too. Like Bane was kind of a spot, like they were obviously still wicked bad, but he was kind of doing well, like for a little, and then I know he's injured for sure because he was my second highest point earner on fantasy, and he's been out for 6 weeks, and Embiid's my number one. So I mean, I
Oh,
basically
adios.
my year was already over, but man,
Not really over.
Yeah, so if I'm the Grizzlies, I can seriously consider maybe going in for something else. I don't know. Maybe build around Ja.
This year, so you're gonna have another guy to build around.
Guess
I
so.
know the draft isn't very good, but
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be another good one next year either, right? I heard like the next few drafts are going to suck.
next one you got like Cooper Flag and all that coming in.
they're in like a really tough spot right now because they're a small market and they're like kind of wasting their like years of like these guys being on contracts they can afford, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
part of it's not their fault though, because part of it's
oh
John.
yeah, no, oh my God, it's
Part of
definitely
it is crazy injuries, so it's terrible luck for that
and
organization.
Ja just being Ja too, getting suspended. It's not only the injury; he was suspended for 25 games this year.
Yeah, 25 games you come back and then you immediately get hurt and out for the rest of the year. Like Jesus Christ,
And what's his thing? A wrist injury, right?
the shoulder, I think.
No, shoulder. Okay.
He's in a sling. That's what I remember.
Surprised it's like the rest of the year, honestly.
Well, it might not have been serious enough to keep him out for the year, but they might just be doing it because the season's already gone.
Yeah, they're folding up. That 25 game suspension killed him.
Yeah, and even after he came back, by the time he got injured, they were so far below everybody that it was like, why are we gonna force this guy back?
Yeah.
Hey man, maybe they draft the rookie of the year.
You never know. It could happen.
I mean,
They have a good draft pick.
Guys like Wembanyama. I mean, I hadn't heard of him until last year, like the year he came into the draft. So maybe not that there's a Wembanyama in this draft, but I don't know. Guys come out of nowhere in this pre-draft season, but we'll see.
One more thing I had about that Grizzlies game that I thought was pretty funny was that the Celtics were still going through their process on the offensive end. Like they were still trying to hunt mismatches with Jason Tatum, even though he's playing against G Leaguers. Like they were trying to get Jacob Gilliard on Jason Tatum, like a 5'8" guy on the best offensive player, like a top 5 offensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty funny that they're still going through their processes, even though there was really no point for them to, because they could have just got whatever they wanted, and they could have just kept throwing the ball to fucking Porzingis, who was a foot and a half taller than the next closest guy on the Grizzlies the whole night. So it was just kind of funny that they were still even trying to attack mismatches when their whole game was a mismatch.
Yeah. There was nobody on the floor that could compete with our bench even. So
Joe's a madman. I love Joe.
yeah, I do really. This season made me turn around on him a lot. Not that I disliked him, but it made me really buy into him as a
He's
good
such a young
coach.
coach too. He could be really good. Like he's really young in his career. I'm glad we're giving him some time. Like and he's
Yeah.
it's such a good team to like use, obviously.
Yeah, he was handed the keys to a Ferrari, and he hasn't crashed it yet.
No, we're the best team in the league.
We've seen
Exactly.
what other coaches have done with that over the years. I mean,
Definitely.
look at Milwaukee.
Mm,
The players
exactly.
seem to really like Joe. Like I sent the Instagram of the Twitter of Chris Stapps going to his jujitsu class. Like they seem to really like him.
Yeah.
Because he's
They're all
their age.
Yeah, I mean honestly, yeah. He's like
younger than
isn't Al older than him?
Al is definitely older than him. Yeah, Al's 37. I think Missoula's 35.
Yeah, that's so I remember that's so funny.
It's got to be funny for LeBron to talk to fucking Joe because it's like, yo, I was like 7, and then you were just born.
Yeah, literally.
I was hooping in the backyard, and you were still sucking on a bottle.
Joe was just doing math and stuff.
It's
Um,
multiplication tables, and you fucking just figured out how to walk.
we're coming up here on the trade deadline. It's on Thursday at 3 p.m. this week. Uh, it seems like there's going to be a slow deadline. You know, it's not going to be a lot of big splashes made. Zach LaVine, he was probably going to be the biggest splash of the deadline. The Bulls shut it down for the season. He won't be traded because he's injured. Um, but and you have teams like the Celtics where they're cash strapped and they don't want to screw up anything. So they're not going to probably make any moves outside of the buyout market. I'm just not. What do you think the Celtics do much here?
Jacob did all the research on it today. I'm sure he probably has a better idea of what's going on.
I mean, I don't think we do anything, which is nice. I think the most realistic option is we just get Queta, but it'd be nice if we got like a low-key big for the bench or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
let me,
I think we just like him so much recently. I kind of don't think we could get anything better than him.
let me throw some names out to you, and I want you to give me your analysis on if they would fit with this team, if you like them for this team, and from the buyout market. Mike Muscala, retread. What do we think?
Who's he playing over? So you're gonna fill a roster spot for insurance, and if you have to break that glass to get him out of there, then you're pretty screwed anyways.
He's like Al Horford insurance.
Well, I think he was better on a team. He was really way more needed on a team without Kristaps when we needed a bit more big shooting. I feel like we need someone more like energy, like Keita for that role.
Rebounding, really.
Yeah, I feel like rebounding is what we need.
Rebounding and defense. If
He's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
get
like a way worse version of worse version of Kristaps, basically.
Let me throw another name at you then. Andre Drummond.
if he gets bought out, I mean, even if he doesn't get bought out, he makes $3 million a year. You can get him in the TPE if you wanted him that bad. But you got to also figure Andre Drummond. Hey, you're going to be the third center. Like, you're not really going to play, and is he going to be okay with that and not cause problems in the locker room?
Well, he's the second center in Chicago.
I mean, he had a 20-20 game this year. He's not going to. He might have a 5-5 game if he comes to the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, he meets those two things:
It's interesting.
defense and rebounds.
If he's down to ring chase, man, maybe.
I would like to see Drummond get some looks. I'd also like to see this guy get some looks. Kelly Olynyk.
That'd be funny.
They have to get bought out, and who knows if they're actually going to buy him out. He's over on the Jazz, right?
Yep.
I think
I
they
think the
like
Jazz should trade him.
to buy him out. They probably, if they're going to get rid of him, they're going to trade him because
But what do you get? What do you like? What's his market? You can only trade him if he's valued.
Yeah, you can get a couple second rounders or something like that for him. I mean,
From
better
who
than-
though?
I think they're gonna trade in general though, so he could just be in trades, you know.
Yeah, I mean, plus like there's enough random teams around. Like the Lakers are going to try and do something. Like
He's
But
also
I mean,
getting
I'd
paid
love.
12 million a
I'd
year.
love
He's got a weird salary where it's not a lot, but it's not small enough.
it's movable for most teams.
Not for
For
the
us, we're kind of
Celtics.
screwed. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
all of our money is tied up in big names. The only guys that are low or mid to low contracts is Allen and Pritchard, and you can't really trade either of those. If you wanted them, you could trade Pritchard and you could stack like three or four other guys, but then you have to get another team involved because a team can't take on more players than they can fit in their roster. So if you wanted to trade straight up to get Olynyk, you'd have to trade like four guys, and then they'd all have to get fucking waived once they got over to Utah. And why is Utah going to do that? Like, the money's still going to be tied up, and you're not going to have any players.
What about Delon Wright?
I don't know much about DeLon Wright. Isn't he just a defender? Like, kind
Is
of
he a
just.
bit old? Is he a bit old?
I mean, all these players are 30 or above.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like Delon Wright. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we still would need like more of a rebounder.
He's a tall guard. He would eliminate the problem of Pritchard being, a zilch on defense and too short to take it inside against all
Yeah,
our teams.
stop him from getting hunted on in the playoffs. Yeah, but can he score enough to stay out there?
That's the thing. Can he score enough to?
Is he a good enough
That's
shooter?
the, huh?
Is he a good enough shooter to spread the floor for the rest of the guys?
Let's look
That's
up. Let's look at his numbers.
The
And is
thing
he
is,
like a special kind of defender too, or is he just kind of a mid defender and it's just kind of like getting a name on the team?
Delon Wright, he's averaging 4.4 points a game, 2 boards, and 3 assists on 38% from the field, 39% from the field, 38% from three. So he can shoot.
I mean, it's just kind of a weird pickup. It's like another Pritchard where he's kind of streaky, just a little bit better of a defender.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. He's 6'5".
That's helpful. That is
Yeah.
helpful.
That's the difference. That's the game. Like, that's the game breaker.
Yeah, that's why Jay Gilliard's not a starter on any teams because he's 5'8".
um, there's another name on there. He's probably going to get traded, but I looked at names potentially for the buy out market, and Gordon Hayward came up.
I can't have him on the team.
he'd be expensive, right?
Well, not if he gets bought out.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, when you're a second apron like we are, you can't sign anybody in the buyout market that makes more than the mid-level exception. And the mid-level exception is 12.4 million,
How do they?
28 million. So even if he gets bought out, you can't legally sign him onto your team.
Wow. So
That's
his salary that got bought out, that's nullified, is held against you, the team.
unless it's like a below a mid-level exception. If you're above the second apron, which we are, like substantially, it's just another way that the NBA is trying to punish you for being so far above the apron and stop these teams like back when guys used to get bought out and they were really good players and they would just go ring chase and go to like the Warriors or whatever and they would end up with like or like LaMarcus Aldridge went to somebody at the end of his career to try and get a ring after he got bought out by the Spurs. Like, they're trying to stop that stuff from happening basically. So it's kind of a shit position for us to be in, but it kind of makes sense too for the league. The
Champagne
parity of
problem.
the league.
What about Kyle Lowry?
Ugh.
We'd really be like the Avengers. Like everybody's just trying to like we're picking up all the pieces from the teams that have like given us a hard time over the past 5 years.
We're the Avengers and fucking he'd be Loki.
Yeah, exactly. A valuable member.
I'm the first one. The first one's just caused more
Yeah,
problems.
the first one and in Endgame, he's a
Hey, I
problem.
was gonna say it depends on the movie, man. He really decides to be a fucker a lot of the time.
It's
Exactly.
gonna be a factor one way or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, he kicked our ass. He rarely turned back the clock last in the Eastern Conference Finals against us. He's just a gamer.
I don't even bring that up, man.
Um, we have some trade targets listed here: Nick Richards, Mark Williams, Lonnie Walker, Chris Dunn, and Jayshawn Tate. Anything sparking interest there?
All those guys fit into the TPE, so you don't have to move anybody off of the team, and you have an open roster spot to take them in. So you can throw some picks at some of those teams if they're trying to sell. I tried to throw in a couple guys of different size. You know, you got a couple bigs in there if you want to strengthen up the front line. You got the guard in there, Lonnie Walker. He can go get his own shot. And Jay Sean Tate's kind of like another O'Shea Brissett kind of clone, but not as good.
Interesting.
Just a couple
I think Nick Richards is interesting. I don't think the Hornets would move off of Mark Williams. I know he has a lot of problems, but his skill set at 7 feet tall is pretty rare. So I think they want to hold on to him when he gets healthy. For when he gets healthy, Lonnie Walker, I like. I just don't know if he moves the needle. Chris Dunn weirdly moves the needle for me.
He was in the G League last year, actually. He just came back.
Wasn't he on the Celtics too?
Oh, it was a couple years ago. Oh, dude, I think that was back when we had Gerald Wallace on the team still.
Yeah. A lot of these guys are retreads, like the names we've talked about, Chris Dunn, Hayward, Muscala, Olenek, obviously. These guys are all, and Gallinari was another name I was going to talk about that was a retread.
I mean, Gallinari's kind of doesn't move the needle for me either. He's gotten slower and worse on defense than he was before the ACL tear, so
Yeah.
he's a little old for that. It'd be a nice little story, but we're looking for titles, not stories at this point.
Would you be okay if they do nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the best record in the league. You're not moving any of your assets and your picks coming forward as a second apron team, which is good. You need those picks because that's the only thing that you can really do going forward is make picks. I mean, and you already got the best record. You're just kind of banking on health, and if with the look ahead, we'll talk about it later. Like, there's a lot of time for us to rest.
Yeah. Yeah, ideally we need center depth, not need. Need is not the word. We want center depth and or like guard depth, like tall guard depth. A tall guard or a center that could possibly spread the floor. In the break glass of in case of emergency situation where Porzingis or Al go down. So that's what we're looking for. If I fall in line with you guys, if we don't do anything, I'm okay with it too. But let's move on here to other teams, other potential big moves that could shake up the league here. The one that's catching the most traction is DeJounte Murray going to the Lakers. DeJounte, not Deontay. DeJounte Murray going to the Lakers. What do we think? Is that like a foregone conclusion? You got LeBron posting the upside down hourglass memes on Twitter. He's done this before. It didn't help that they played the Celtics that next game, and basically the entire Lakers team was like, "Fuck that! I don't want to get traded out of LA," and decided to show up and show out. But do we think they pull the trigger on this? Does this make them any better?
Yeah, it definitely makes them better. DeJounte's pretty damn good.
Does that take them to the next level?
I mean, they'd have DeJounte, LeBron. DeJounte would be the third piece of LeBron and AD. I mean, I don't think they'd be like title threats really, but I think they'd be able to make a push like last year maybe, where they could like go to contenders and making some maybe. I mean, not go to contenders. They could probably go to the playoffs. I think if they do that, it just because they did do this last year, same exact thing, honestly. Where they shook it up at the deadline when they're really down bad. They honestly probably feels like a similar record too. And they kind of revived it post second half.
Do we think they trade LeBron? Or do you think LeBron trades LeBron?
No, neither one of those.
Did you see the thing where after they played the Knicks, he had a Knicks towel wrapped around his neck?
He was using the Knicks as leverage against the Lakers. Like, hey, get your shit together. Let's get this going because I can leave whenever I want.
I tell you what, I would hate if he got traded to the Knicks this season. I would hate it.
I would love it. I would buy a Knicks LeBron jersey. That would be so sick.
Well, that would be sick, right? It would be good as a fan of the NBA, but as a Celtics fan, I would not like it because the Knicks are actually kind of good.
How much would the Knicks have to give up to get LeBron, though? That's the thing. Because like you're not just adding LeBron to this Knicks team as it is. You're giving up like probably Brunson and Randall to get LeBron.
No, you don't give up. You give up Randall.
They're not going to take Randall for LeBron. Doesn't matter how much extra shit you throw in there. They're not going to take out with a dislocated shoulder that they already played once and broke his leg last time he played for them. They're not going to take that back for LeBron, Ramon James.
Well, that and a bunch of picks.
Oh, fuck the picks.
Well, then the Lakers need they're at a weird inflection point where they either need to kind of scrap together as much as they can to get the last juice out of LeBron and AD together, or they need to just fucking push the chips in tank.
Also, if you're trading LeBron to the Knicks and you already have AD, why are you going to take Randall and AD? That's going to be the most clogged up, stupid ass shot taking team I've ever seen.
Well, because you're LA still, and you have a guy who's in his 20s, you could still build around.
Building around Randall doesn't work. They tried that
Or
once.
at least scrap together a team while you suck. Kind of like a partial rebuild.
Yeah.
They're LA. They have to have some sort of player on their team. It's just how they have always been.
They'll get Levine when he pops out.
They can't get him this year.
Oh, nobody can have him this year, which is lucky for all the dumbass teams that were thinking about getting him because, God, is he a team killer.
Do you think LeBron's a Laker next year?
Isn't he up for like 50-something million dollars in his next year of his contract or something? Like, I don't think he turns that down.
Why? Is he hurting for money?
No, but I mean, if you're looking $50-something million in a year, and who knows, maybe next year he blows out his ACL or something like that, or at the end of this year he hurts himself.
Just go act in a movie.
Yeah, but I mean, $57 million guaranteed money.
I don't think money's a factor. I think money's like not even a top 5 factor for him with his next contract decision.
We say that, but $50-something million is a lot of money, even if
Definitely
it's not a decision.
Well,
He also probably likes being a Laker too. I feel like he likes that. Like, I feel like
I think he likes the control.
he likes the shine of being on the Lakers, I think too.
we think LeBron and AD are Lakers next year?
It depends how bad this team goes down. If this team flops on its face and there's a play-in tournament team and they don't make it, I think that one of them's getting. I think the AD's getting shipped out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
You think LeBron would do that?
I don't think that LeBron has a choice in this one. I think that the management's going to see how bad they are and be like, yeah, AD, you're gone. LeBron, if you want to sign again, you can. If not, like you said, we got to rebuild and get something.
What do you? This whole we don't have a choice. LeBron holds all the cards here.
No, I'm saying LeBron doesn't have a choice in it because like if they fall on their face this year, they don't even make it into the playoffs. Like if they lose in the play-in tournament,
Yeah.
they're not going to run that back again next year. They're not going to get any better. It's not like they had a bunch of injuries this year that held them back. Like they've been healthy all year long, and they're still a 500 team. Are you going to run that team back again next year to fall on its face again and be 1 year older and one year closer to more injuries?
If you're the Lakers, would you rather AD or LeBron?
You'd rather LeBron.
Really?
Well,
Going
the Lakers are also the thing about the Lakers is that the buses only own the Lakers. That's their only form of income.
Oh wow, my heart breaks for him.
Well, it's not
What do
like
you mean?
well, it's not like another team where it's like Wick Grossbeck's got money coming in that he can just throw at a team and sign a max contract player. Like they can sign max contract players, obviously, but they still need to pay to rent out that stadium in LA. You know, I don't think they own that. I don't know if they do.
I would hate to see LeBron go back to the Lakers. I don't think they have much of a future. I mean, it's the same story with. Although the Cavaliers did a pretty good job post LeBron the second time, he sort of just leaves teams and
He leaves a cavity.
yeah, vacuum like they're just like he
Yeah.
craters teams out.
You build the team around him, and then as soon as he walks out, there's just a big hole in the middle, and there's not a lot of guys that can do what LeBron does on a night-to-night basis. There's maybe
Yeah.
3 guys in the league that can do what he does on a night-to-night basis.
If he
I feel
wants
like-
to win, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jacob. Go
I
ahead.
was just say I feel like also as the years go on a team, they're always sacrificing the future more for like to make it last longer too. Like they're always trading their picks, they're always trading their young assets to make it like just one more year of good like of LeBron wanting to stay. And then yeah, he leaves and then it's like kapoof. Like, oh, we built everything around him like you're saying, and everything was temporary. Like
Yeah,
you're
that's what I was saying. It's like if they're gonna be shit and fall on their face this year, you don't know if LeBron's coming back next year. You just ship off AD for as much as you can get for him, and then start rebuilding.
I don't think LeBron James will win another championship as a max player.
I don't think he'll win another championship again, anyways. Because I
Well,
don't
right.
think he's gonna go to a place where he's not a max player to be second fiddle to anybody.
Something's got to give. Either LeBron has to accept the fact that he's 40 and going to be 40, and he's no longer a max player. Still a really good player, still a borderline top 10 player, but if you want to win in this league, you need to like at that age, you need to go ring chase. Like,
Well, LeBron is still playing at close to a max player level of production, but the problem is that like you have to go to a team that knows how to build around you, and the Lakers are
well, right, yeah,
not
yeah.
building around him. Like you have to go to a competent organization, and the Lakers have not been a competent organization.
If I'm LeBron James, I opt out at the end of this year, and I go and I sign for however much money because I think he could probably get paid however much
Yeah,
to go play with Oklahoma City Thunder.
That'd be a fun young team for him to go to.
That team is like ready made. They already have a top 10 player on their team. They have a bunch of young talent. They have another guy in Chet who's a potential stud. You know, enough pieces around them. That's what I would do. That's just, if I'm playing 2K and I want LeBron to win another chip next season, I say adios and I go play for the Lakers, or I ring chase with the Celtics or something. But
yeah. If he went over there too, they have so much stuff that they could trade. They have so many picks and everything that they could trade with so much cap space.
yep.
They could make another big move, and they could have a super team in Oklahoma City.
Or he just goes to the Clippers and they have the old man Avengers.
Jesus Christ.
But Cody, honestly,
Team
like
of elite small forwards.
Cody, you're saying that like it does look like a quiet deadline, but like look at the names I put below too. Like I feel like the all-stars that go at the deadline are always like drama, but I feel like those don't actually end up contributing to a win. It's usually because of a bad situation and it's just like blowing up stuff, or like it's usually sloppy mid. Like I feel like when Kevin Durant went to the Suns, it's like, yeah, that's big time, but like it's not like a championship built team just inserting like a, you know what I mean? I feel like the ones I listed below, like I feel like some of them might actually go crazy if they end up happening. Like Bruce Brown to the Knicks, or Bojan Bogdanovic to the Knicks.
I'd hate that
Yeah, that
as a
Bruce
Celtics
Brown.
fan.
Also, like DeMar or Buddy to the Sixers, I've been seeing. Like that'd be huge for Maxey.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of picks to trade. And then Brogdon to the Magic, like that could be huge for them. That could, because they really don't have anyone like Brogdon.
What if Brogdon goes to the Knicks?
I mean, I just feel like they're kind of a small team though,
Yeah.
because of the injuries. I just feel like the Magic need it because they'd have no small people. But I mean, Brogdon anywhere would be good. He's pretty good but I don't know. But like, yeah, I don't know. The Caruso to the Kings, like that could make them pretty damn scary.
I gotta
Yeah.
see if I
Claxton
can-
to the Thunder's another one that I don't like for as a Celtics fan.
if-
It'd almost be like us getting White. Like I feel like those like role player like insertions can sometimes actually like make a team. I'm not that scary when like a team overhauls their whole team for a superstar mid-year. I'm usually like I'm assuming that's not going to work usually. But if they're like trading picks for a someone like Bruce Brown, I'm like, oof,
Yeah.
that's actually more impactful in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, the two moves they happened last year. Kevin Durant to the Suns. Right, that was the deadline.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant to the Suns and Kyrie to the Mavs. Though, I mean, Vegas bought in, or the money shifted in Vegas, and their odds of winning the championship went right up. But I didn't think either one of those moves were gonna make them anything, and they didn't do anything. I mean, the Mavericks didn't even make the playoffs. So
It's always huge when you have to give up so much of your team for one person, vice versa.
yeah, and
So
the Suns are in a really bad spot, I think.
yeah.
I don't know
Did
what
I
the
even
hell
put
they do.
them? I didn't even put them there, but they need to do something.
Yeah,
They don't have anything to do. They got no picks. They
exactly.
don't
That's-
pick, they got no
that's-
movable contracts, so there's no point in putting them there. They're kind of stuck.
You know what's crazy is, have you been seeing how good Grayson Allen's been this year for them? Like they've actually been getting crazy production out of him.
He's gonna be 50, 40, 90 club this year.
Dude, yeah, I think he's like top 3 in the league in like 3-pointer percentage this year. So like it's not even like they're squeezing a lot out of these guys and they're still like eh.
Shooting like
Allen's
45%.
getting 13 points, 4 boards, 3 assists on 52% from the field and 49% from three.
Dude, he's gonna go 50, 50.
49?
Yeah, that's insane. That's nuts, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're squeezing this much out of people and they're still like whatever.
Still mid because they can't stay healthy.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know. This is the best that anyone could ever get out of Grayson Allen.
Yeah,
Apparently
seriously.
I
he's
will
been
say
like
confidently.
a choir boy over there too. I haven't heard anything about him hurting nobody or nothing.
No, he's I think he learned his lesson.
Hopefully, you know that shit rears his ugly head.
Yeah, it's true. The playoffs come and he's gonna get intense and he's gonna kick someone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There are moves to be made. There is gold in them hills somewhere for some teams, but
I think so.
nothing like last year's deadline. I don't think.
I feel like
And
the
I think
injuries
stuff
to all
does
the star
happen.
players. The injuries to the star players this year before the deadline, I think, really killed the trade deadline because Levine was going to be a big move. I was going to make a big splash for somebody one way or the other, and he's injured, so he's not. Embiid being hurt now for 4 weeks. Now the Sixers, they're probably not going to be big buyers at the deadline. They're kind of probably going to be out because they're gonna have to wait on Embiid to see if it's even worth it.
Right?
And
Yeah, it feels like the Sixers or the Heat are I mean, and the Heat can still do it, but and the Lakers, but the Sixers were probably poised to make a big move this deadline.
yeah, they're gonna
Uh,
try and make some big moves to build around Embiid. But if he's gonna be hurt and he's gonna be reevaluated in a month, like he's not even gonna be back in a month, like, that's kind of tough to do, especially when you're gonna free fall without him.
Yeah, and we could
Bucks,
slide on into that. He tore his meniscus. He'll be reevaluated in a month. Are they dead in the water?
Jacob, what do you think?
yeah, I mean it just seems like an injury that like Joel will have to I feel like it's not doesn't feel like an injury that he'll just be able to come back spry. I feel like he needs like an off season to I don't even know. I feel like he needs to rest actually. If he tries to come back, I don't think they'd be good for the playoffs anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Even
I
if he does come back and play, he's not going to be the Joel Embiid of last year or this year before he got hurt.
He's gonna be dealing with a lot of pain with it too, because from what I understand, the meniscus is like your shock absorber for your knee, and he's a big boy to be putting a lot of pounding and running on that knee. Like they're gonna take their time with it, I think. Well, if they were smart, they would. You know, it's,
Maxi's young too, so it's not like they're running out of time with Maxi. If
yeah,
I,
anything,
he's on a good contract.
yeah.
do we think we see a decline in Joel? I mean, he's over 30 now, right? Like, do we think we're starting to see the end here with him?
We've been thinking that for years though, with all the injuries. But then, like, look at last year and look at this year. And this
He,
year's he's even better than he was last year, and he won the MVP last year.
I think he's gonna have to change stuff. Like I don't know. He's only played 2 years. I think he's only played 2 year game seasons over 65 games. I think he's just gonna have to play more like chilled play style if he's gonna survive like a season. I think something has to change
He's got
because
Yeah.
to he's got to talk to LeBron about, like, LeBron knows how to take plays off, take parts of the game off. He's got to figure out how to do that throughout the game and not go 110 miles an hour the whole game. And he's got to stop fucking falling down like you said, Jacob. It takes a
help
lot of
himself.
effort to get up off the ground. You're that big, and you just
Dude,
fall all the time.
I see it all the time. I'm like, how is that? That must fucking hurt. He'll
Actually,
like,
he's only 29, by the way.
yeah. He just had a lot of injuries already at 29. That's kind of crazy. He didn't even play the first year.
Yeah.
That the Sixers were doing that a lot. They were doing that a lot back in the day. But yeah, no, I don't trust the Sixers to like you were saying earlier too. I don't trust the Sixers to like actually manage it well either though. Like I honestly hope I mean, actually as a Celtics fan, obviously I hope this, but I hope he leaves somehow. I hope they trade him somehow. I don't know. I just don't even I don't trust like I don't think he's gonna win much with the Sixers. I don't know.
Which I think is exactly why he needs to stay there.
That's
Because
true.
I don't want to see him go anywhere else and win over the Celtics.
Like you said, you thought he was going to the Knicks, Cody. You think that's
It's
still
still possible.
You
Yeah.
think he's gonna go there in free agency? You think?
I mean, I wouldn't, if I'm the Knicks, I would want him on my team. I'd move heaven
I
and
think
earth to get him and Jalen Brunson together. Yeah.
I don't think there's a team in the league that wouldn't enjoy having Joel Embiid on their
Yeah.
team. He's pretty dominant.
Exactly. I think all 29 other teams would be like, yes, please. We'll work it out.
Even the Nuggets.
Yeah. Oh, imagine Embiid and Jokic together.
And they're so good at passing that they can both play at the same time too.
Yeah,
that's like
seriously.
that's the thing about Embiid. There was definitely questions of like the Harden playmaking going away, but I mean they still didn't match like the highest assists in the league that Harden have had. But I mean Joel definitely got better at passing this year.
I feel like everybody benefited from Harden leaving, including Harden.
I know, yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing about Harden. He kind of like is such a vibe killer that like it actually is great for the team that like he leaves. It's kind of always a mutually beneficial trade, it seems.
What's
Yeah.
the mutual factor here though? Doc Rivers. He's the odd man. Well, we'll see how he does with the Bucks, but I mean, well, I guess he got better off too. He went from the Sixers to coaching the Bucks in less than a year, so good for him. Everybody worked out. Everybody left except for Joel, and it all worked out for everybody.
No, you know
Doc
what the
took a
best
little
part is?
vacation. Doc was just working for ESPN for a little, got a bag, then went back to coaching a contender. Yeah, I don't
He's
think he.
getting he's gonna get a $300,000 bonus for coaching the All-Star game.
Why does he get to coach the All Star game?
I
Why?
did.
Why is this?
Did I miss
Because
Joe saying no or something?
no,
Yeah.
because the you can't coach the All-Star game back-to-back years.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, so because like I guess Pat Riley in the '80s and the '90s was coaching the Heat, and he would be the #1 seed every year, and he would just coach the All-Star game every year.
honestly though, I think Doc loves it and Joe doesn't, so Doc have at it. Like
Oh no.
Doc
You
will
see
have fun.
you see that quote I sent you where Joe was uh, going espionage over here and checking out how players react and how they spend their off time on the other teams and everything like that. Like he's
Oh,
psyched. I
yeah.
think he loved it. I think he low key was writing down. I think he had a little notepad and he was writing shit down.
That is true actually. Yeah, he was like going double agent mode.
But Doc comes in, he's like what 1-3 on the Bucks since he's gotten there, and now he's gonna go make $300,000 and to go coach the All-Star game, and the guy that he's taking over for is just getting fucking kicked in the ass. Like I don't.
He is dirt on the league for sure, man.
Do you think he's gonna be like? Let's just say things go awful. They'll still make the playoffs, I imagine. But let's say they're in another early exit. Uh, do they stick with him,
I don't
or do
know.
they go back into the pool and look for another coach?
The pool's just a cesspool, though. That's the problem. There's no good coaches sitting around.
Dude, what does Giannis do?
Is Giannis a
Well, he
coach
just
killer?
he just re-upped, so he's staying put for.
True. Does he kick
Is,
Cam out though?
is he a coach killer? Like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, he won a chip at least, so he does have that. But
Who
yeah,
who have been his coaches?
He had Jason Kidd at one point. Then he had then it was Buck or not Buck,
Oh,
Bud.
Budenholzer.
Yeah, Budenholzer. And then he got tired of him, even though they were one. Then they were injury ridden in the year before. Got him shipped out, and then complained that he wanted a better team. Got Drew shipped out, and now they have like one of the worst defenses you've ever seen. Then he wanted Adrian Griffin. They wanted to hire Nick Nurse, and he said no, I don't want Nick Nurse. I want Adrian Griffin. And they were 30-13, and he said no, I don't like him anymore. And he was out.
I
Now
think
he's
it's a testament to all this is a testament to LeBron. Like we're just got done talking about how he craters teams out, but every situation he's went to since his Cleveland, he's won a chip with, and it's been a slew of different role players, different coaches. He's had a lot of success, and you're starting to see it with other guys like Giannis, like you're talking about, doing the same thing where they're basically building out the team around themselves, who they want on their team, and it's not going so well. It's not going well at all.
No, LeBron's kind of a one-off with that.
but
Also,
also
you come with a lot of pressure when you're coaching LeBron. I mean, like Vogel got fired from the Lakers, and it wasn't even his fault. Like that team was just built like shit, and like there was nothing he could do about it. But he still got canned because you have LeBron on the team. So if you don't win, then you're out the door. So Giannis might be turning into that kind of a player where it's if you don't win, if you're not in the you know Eastern Conference championships every year, then you might just be get shit canned because you have to take advantage of Giannis being there.
yeah, I feel like it's also just kind of the culture. Like I feel like it's not even really a Giannis problem. It's kind of an NBA problem right now of just treating coaches like 1 year like stint. I feel like on this year part like some of the on the lucky few that have like a relationship with the franchise, like the Sixers, I feel like turned around a few. Like the Raptors have been doing that ever since they won their chip. I feel like once you win like especially if you win a chip, like afterwards, the expectations go wicked crazy. Like after the Lakers won their chip, I feel like they've had so many coaches. Same with the Raptors. Same with the Bucks. I feel like afterwards, it's like I don't know why they just cut them off, and then I don't know. It's almost like a league issue now that they don't really give coaches time at all.
I do, the Celtics are weird because they've had three coaches in the past 10 years, right? Like, so they on paper qualified, but the circumstances are way different in my opinion. Brad was the head coach for, was it 10 years or like close to 10 years?
It was a while. I think it was probably 6, 7 years. I think.
At
Because
one point, he was the
We promoted him.
at one point. Yeah, true. I guess he didn't get fired. At one point, he was the longest tenured head coach in the East besides Spoelstra.
yeah, I think so.
Um, so and he had a lot of success. I mean, obviously, he got promoted from a head coach position to the GM position. I guess Ainge technically was the one that got fired, but and then you have Ime come in, who's now still a head coach, just not for the Celtics because he put his hands in the cookie jar, if you know what I'm saying. But and now you have Joe, so the situations are a little bit different. Like Giannis definitely has gotten a coach fired, at least one.
It just seems like it just happens with the stars now if you're not winning.
Yeah, like Jacob was saying, you get that title, and then everybody knows that window is so short in the NBA. One injury can change everything, so they want to really capitalize on that. And if you win a title, you're looking at your roster, going, "Oh, it's not that much different," but we didn't step up and win it this year. We weren't competitive as we wanted to be this year, so then must be the coach. You're the fall guy.
Mm.
I honestly I'm predicting that someone poaches like Jeff Van Gundy next year.
Isn't
Just
he?
because
Isn't he an assistant for the Celtics?
yeah, I just feel like even if we win it, if anything, that'd give him more credit. But I feel like I don't know him doing that kind of feels like he might be returning to coaching and he might be advertising, even if especially if we win.
Yeah, he's an advisor for the Celtics. He's not an assistant, so
Hmm. Whatever the hell that means.
I don't know.
That's
He's
what
around
Doc
the
was. That's what Doc was before he got his job.
Yeah, and I guess that's a nice little slide in here to the All-Star game. Trey Young and Scotty Barnes, they're injury replacements for Joel Embiid and Julius Randle. What do we think? Anybody get snubbed?
Oh, one more thing I want to say about Jeff Van Gundy trying to pull the Doc Rivers and take Joe Mazzulla's job. I think Joe Mazzulla put him in an omoplata over there and rip his little old arms off and
Yeah,
get
he'd
sued.
probably put him in a hold for sure.
They won't let him take that job. He'll be over his cold dead hands. When they try and get rid of Mazzulla, they better have a security team with them. I tell you what.
Yeah, for real.
But I think Porzingis probably got snubbed. I haven't looked at Scotty Barnes' numbers recently, but I mean, like I think Porzingis is a better, more impactful player than Scotty Barnes is.
Yeah, I feel like Scotty Barnes was picked because Silver wanted an international.
He wants to get more teams involved too, more eyes on it. So you're gonna
Yeah.
pick guys from teams that aren't already represented. So it is what it is. Trey Young's having a great year on the numbers. I don't know about his efficiency, but 27 and 11 is a crazy numbers we putting up on a night-to-night basis. So I can see why he was picked.
Barnes is averaging 6 assists. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's thinking having a pretty good year.
Yeah, 28 and 6.
He's not. I think what's his 3-point percentage? I think that's getting up
He-
there too.
30, it's like round up 37. Yeah, no, I've heard he's at a sneaky. I heard he was a snub when he didn't make it originally.
Mm.
But I also heard Kristaps was. I agree. I mean, Kristaps could have a case too. Maybe they were just like, maybe they were so close that they were just like, we'll give Raptors one, I guess.
Was Derek White an all-star? Was Derek White's all-star campaign pie in the sky, or was he snubbed? Do we think?
I think he was playing this guy a little bit. As much as I love Derek White, I think he makes more of an impact on winning than Scotty Barnes does on a night-to-night basis, to be honest. But the numbers just aren't there. And
Who would you rather have, Trey Young and Derek White?
Trae Young's averaging like 30 and 10, man.
he's putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah,
But
I think you just got.
Counterpoint: he can't play defense.
I know it definitely is like real ones know that Derek White's awesome, but it's just I think the league is just too good now to even have like 3 or 4, honestly. It's just like it's crazy. Like you're kind of arguing for some teams to have none and like there's just so many good players around the league. Same with like the West. It's like Jamal didn't even get in somehow. Like what the hell? They won a championship. He's the second best player.
Yeah,
And the Kings didn't get on. There's like it's pretty hard to say we have snubs when the Kings didn't have zero, like didn't have Fox or Sabonis get out of the
Yeah.
West.
That's tough.
What players? Was it 29 and 20, and the Kings don't have any, and the Lakers are a 500 team, and they have 2?
Yeah, I feel like they're way bigger snubs than us. We have 2, so in
But
today's
do you-
NBA, 2 means you're one of the best at least.
Do you
Usually, not the Lakers, but
is the old man treatment something that we should get rid of?
I think maybe they should make like a special, like a 14th spot for or something like that.
If
Or
he
make
doesn't
him
get to, he's doing really well this year. If maybe next year, I don't know.
put him
Because
as captain.
doesn't the All Star team of like All Star doesn't that affect salary clauses and stuff?
A lot of guys have that in there.
Why is the MBPA not like what the you know?
Because you can negotiate your own contract, and if you want to negotiate that into your contract, then you can.
One thing you have to consider too is that LeBron was voted in by the fans. The league didn't do it. The
And
league the league put Anthony Davis on the team.
I think most contracts too are all NBA and not All Star, because All Star can get skewed with the fan vote and everything.
Yeah,
I think it's
I think that needs to change. I mean, listen, LeBron, you can make a case for him being an All Star this year, but I don't know. Is he the like? Something's rubbing me the wrong way about it.
I just don't like the old man usual awards they weren't even voted in though. At least he was voted on the team by the
Yeah.
fans. Like I feel like I don't even think Dwayne or like I don't think none of them were voted as starters. They just kind of were given spots. He at least was like still earning it by the fans, I guess.
Yeah,
You know,
My thing is that the All Star game is for the fans, so
Yeah.
like let the fans vote in who they want to see play.
if he didn't make the starting five and he was inserted by the league, I'd be a little bit more pressed, I think.
yeah,
I'd be a little bit less pressed about it, to be honest, because like the
Yeah.
league wants to put out make some money. Like LeBron's gonna make you money on that team.
Yeah,
That
like, once
LeBron
he gets-
James All Star jersey is gonna sell out again, like it always does.
like what's his numbers? He's still averaging like 25. It's still
He's still
I mean,
having.
yeah. Maybe
Talk about Scotty Barnes should have made it with 28 and 6, and LeBron's probably averaging like 25, 9 and 7 or something like that. Like,
25, 7 and 7, yeah.
yeah.
That's such a LeBron line.
What is it like? His career average is like 25, 7 and 7, but he's never actually had that in a game.
No, it's 27, 7, 7. Yeah.
He's just never actually put up those numbers in a
he's
game.
never had 27, 7, and 7 in a game. Like exactly, he's had more.
Exactly.
I saw that like a couple years ago. Maybe he had it since, but Steve's right. I did see that. It was pretty funny. He's
Oh,
never
that's
had his
weird.
actual average.
He's always one or two off on something.
What's
Also-
the what?
Just seeing that he's played 1,467 games hurts my brain.
How he's gonna break the 40,000 point record this year, right?
What is the total?
I don't know.
Let me go look.
Want to look up another stupid stat? Look up how many games Robert Parrish played in his career.
He's like the king.
chief.
Dude, he's like, I think he's at like 2,000 games played or something like that.
He played 1,611 games. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. LeBron's easily doing it. He just needs 200 he just needs 200 points.
To break
Wow.
40K. That's fucking ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That's crazy, man.
He has 39,797, so he just needs 203.
He'll have that before. He might have that before All-Star break at the way the teams are scoring now.
That's cool. That's really cool to see. We got to see a player score 40,000 points.
That's so stupid. Holy shit.
Another little fun tidbit here for All-Star Weekend. Jaylen Brown considering participating in the dunk contest. Gerald Green, anyone?
I'm watching the dunk contest this year. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I'll watch it.
I'm still not watching that shit.
No, dude,
Really?
you gotta watch our boy.
When was the last time a Celtic participated?
It was probably D Brown.
Gerald and D Brown both did. I don't think
Gerald Green, yeah, that
Was
that
Gerald on the Celtics when he did?
he won it
might-
as a Celtic.
Yeah,
he did D Brown dunk, didn't he?
he blew out the candle on the rim.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
2006.
great
Was that
game dunker.
2006?
I don't know if he's got the hops for a dunk contest and the flair for it.
You don't think Jaylen Brown has the hops for a dunk contest?
It's different, dude. Like he's like look at Levine and Aaron Gordon. Those guys are built for dunk contests. I don't think Jaylen Brown's at that level.
Dude,
Yeah,
I think
Granted,
Jaylen
there's
can.
two G leaguers in the fucking dunk contest this year. So
Well, yeah. I mean, didn't a white guy win it last year?
and
Mac
Mac McClung for the he was in the
He's like a
Sixers.
professional dunker, dude.
That's disrespectful, though.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I don't like people are upset about like there not being actual NBA players in there. But like, if the NBA players don't want to do it, and the G leaguers do, and they're actually good, like you got to put out a good product at the end of the day. Like it's got to be something fun to watch. Like if you're gonna have a bunch of half-ass NBA players that aren't gonna try in it, like what am I? Nobody's gonna watch that. Put the G Leaguers in there if they're gonna put the effort in.
Dude, I don't know. That's the first time in a while we've had an all-star in it though. That's pretty huge. We've not had like we actually have an all-star in the dunk contest. I don't feel like when's the last time we've had that?
I mean, I will say, ideally,
He also has a 40-inch vertical. I just looked it up.
yeah, he can. Jalen Brown, that's crazy. Jalen Brown can hoop with the best of them. Like he has a huge vertical. He's a freak athlete.
I hope he does good, but I mean, like, I don't expect much either.
If I had my choice, I wouldn't want him in to play it even in the All Star game. I don't want any of this stuff because obviously the goal is for so much more. But I don't want to. If he could like perchance injure himself in this, like I'll be sick to my fucking stomach.
Or Jalen being an all-star on the best team revives the dunk contest.
That could be cool too.
Like, what if an all-star on the best team wins it? We've had bums in it. Levine and Aaron Gordon are like the best players I can remember, and they weren't even like that good in the league at that time.
I think Levine was still nice at that time. I think he was still on the Timberwolves.
Do you think
Sort of.
LeBron could
Not
could
Jay- not Jay.
participate?
What this
What?
year?
Do you think he could still like put up a good performance as in a dunk contest at 39?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
I think he's just different. Like he still has the breakaway, like reverse slams and shit like that at 39. It's ridiculous.
I feel like he's the best in-game dunker. Like still.
Uh,
I wish we could have someone like Zion in it.
Zion.
Yeah, true. Zion.
You got Kobe White too. He'll put guys on posters. It's wild at his size.
Jalen. Jalen is one of the best in-game dunkers.
Levine, when he was healthy, like, he would put up some crazy ones when he actually tried.
AG.
Anthony Edwards. Anthony
Yeah,
Edwards
Edwards
went
is
off the
sick.
backboard to himself for a dunk.
Ja.
Dude, if we had imagine if we had like Ja, Edwards, like Brown,
Donovan.
Zion. Jeez.
That would be fun. I'd watch that, but I couldn't even, other than Mac McClung, which I called him that white guy. I don't think I could name any of the other participants. Derek Jones, didn't Derek Jones Jr. participate?
And we had, dude, it was like Jericho Sims.
Yeah,
The other two guys are the guy from the Heat, the rookie that they just drafted, Jaime Jaquez.
Oh, Ame, yeah, that's interesting.
And
I
then
think-
somebody's little brother is in it too. Somebody that's actually a good dunker's little brother is in it. I can't remember.
Dude, I was confused by Jaime because he seems like more of a crafty dude, which I actually love Jaime Jaquez. Like he's my one player on the Heat I love fucking watching. He's a crafty dude. But I was surprised and then I looked it up and he actually won a pretty high he won like a pretty intense like high school dunk contest versus like really good dunkers. So maybe he actually has it.
Oh, it's fucking Jacob Toppin, not Obi Toppin. His little brother Jacob is from the G League Knicks team.
um,
Jaime Jaquez, I always seen him as like a weird little post player. His
Yeah.
nice little mid post game. He's crafty around the rim with the left hand, grounded. But if he's got that kind of hops, they show it off, I guess.
definitely. Let's move on to the look ahead here. I'm sure All-Star break will be fun, but we still have some games to play. We have the Hawks on Wednesday. What do we think, Dub?
I think Tatum sits and it's a dub.
Yeah.
He's not
I
on the
love this
injury
look
report
ahead,
yet,
man.
but I know that Drew's already on the injury report, so they're probably going to sit him.
Good. Yeah, I think we could sit half the team still win. And definitely on Friday, everybody should sit and start. They should start me. Friday, the Wizards are at the Garden, and then the Seas roll down to Miami.
That's the Kristaps revenge game, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime that we have a chance to beat up on Jordan Poole, I like it. And then the Heat. That's going to be a tough game, I'm sure. It always is. It's never easy against them.
Well, last time was pretty easy against them. I think Molly walked him by like 30 last time he played.
Besides last time.
Yeah, they're kind of bad right now, honestly.
Well, I still don't like them.
Yeah, no, the Heat are never. I never like playing them, but we might beat them easily. Who
I
knows?
love playing the Heat. There's always a little bit of something extra in the air. If you mollywop them, it feels that much better. Like it feels better to beat the Heat by 30 than it does to beat the Grizzlies by 40.
True. I'm just really hurt by last year still.
And then we have Brooklyn on a back-to-back on the 13th of 14th of February. Then we're off until the 22nd.
There's another long break. That must be the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think so.
But like, there's
And
a lot
even
of,
then, we have Chicago.
yeah, we have a lot of scheduled rest games coming up. Like we have the second easiest schedule coming up. Like our going up against teams with a 45.5% win percentage for the rest of the year. Like
It's not an exciting slate, but we just get to sit back and watch the deadline happen this week. It's great.
Yeah, we have champagne problems here in Boston.
you're gonna see a lot of starters sitting in games where they just pop up with a random injury that's not a real injury.
Let's do a quick fantasy roundup. Steve, congratulations, you destroyed me. Oop, did I share the right screen?
I hope so.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, Steve, you're 6-9. Nice, congrats. You fucking lit me up, and you put me in danger of missing the playoffs. That sucks. Your team went off. You just decided to set your lineup this week, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it was.
Nothing I was doing. I couldn't even score. My team just didn't score at all. Bad
Yeah.
week for my team.
I had some big ones from some guys too.
Yeah, your team popped off.
I think Obi
So-
Toppin had a 50-point performance in there at some point. So
Congratulations. Sometimes it's your week. Jacob, let's see what you did. You are
Not my week. Embiid
Ugh.
and Bane don't play anymore, man.
yeah,
I'm getting real tired of Lillard and Zion Williamson. They just don't play.
no, and when they do play, it's kind of hit or miss too.
Pissing me
KD's been
off.
good for me though,
But yeah, so you had a tough loss to Taylor. Taylor's making his. He won it last year. He's making his march to the finals there. Let's look at this week.
he has Jokic obviously, so he's lethal at all times in fantasy.
Seriously.
You never count out him just like getting 100 points in a night for you on a fantasy team.
I'm going up against Dan, the man, my cousin Daniel. Hopefully I can win and secure my place in the playoffs. Steve, you're in a heated battle right now with who's that, Billy?
Yeah.
It was actually I haven't set my lineup yet this week either.
Are
I have
you
72.
are you still in it, Steve? You could still make the playoffs, right?
I have 72. I'm out.
Yeah, you're screwed.
You got no Embiid, your season's over. I'm
At
sorry.
least you're not Frankie.
That's a gamble.
He was my second most. Yeah, he was the second most points in the league. He was a good run.
Let's look at the standings here real quick. Steve with a 1% chance, man. Play the upset card. You could just keep going. Actually, I think you need me to lose this week.
Steve, do you want to trade?
I need somehow for everybody in the league to lose for me to make the fucking.
I will veto. Don't
No,
do
it's not
anything.
gonna be that bad. I'm just gonna. I don't know.
I am the commish.
Somebody
It
really
won't be
good.
against you anyway.
Just my team real quick in the back.
You still have a 1% chance of making it. That's crazy.
There's no way.
Yeah, me and you, Jacob.
I've had a 1% chance for a bit. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have picked Embiid. I fucking fucked up. But it was,
that's the biggest gamble you can make in fantasy.
it looked so good for a while.
It did. It was paying off beautifully.
That's it for fantasy. We'll see how it goes. Some playoff implications on the horizon for myself and actually everybody on the pod.
It's quasi.
1%er. Finally.
1%.
Finally a 1%er.
And Steve made it to the 1%.
Anything else to talk about, guys, before we wrap it up here? You want to give me your Super Bowl takes?
There will be football played on Sunday.
Very disappointed in the matchup, to be honest. I think Mahomes wins or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if Mahomes wins, I don't think that you can put him in the conversation with Brady yet.
Give me no, definitely not. Although if he
People are
wins,
He's on pace to catch up with Brady, but it's still not catching up with Brady.
if he wins, he's on the pantheon of all-time quarterbacks.
He's already on that pantheon, I think, with just his dominance.
He's close. I
throwing
think
to
he has to win
Kadarius
this one.
He's throwing to Kadarius Toney, and they're making the Super Bowl.
I hear you.
Dude, it's very Brady-esque. Dude, we won a Super Bowl with the fucking lacrosse player.
Strong point.
Shout out to Chris Hogan.
Multiple Super Bowls with lacrosse players, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, we like never even won their biggest assets. It like literally is like almost like we never won when we had our best people, and it's we only won when we had like the Mahomes like team this year.
Well, 2008 was a fucking loaded team. Didn't
Yeah,
win.
you had Randy Moss.
What I mean, we didn't win though.
We had Gronkowski, and it's
He was like injured from. I just feel like we had like we never even won with West somehow. Like Julian was healthy for one of them.
he won the MVP for one of them.
Yeah.
You got any prop bets that you're going with, Cody, for the Super Bowl? You got any like what color is Gatorade's gonna get dumped on somebody? How long's the anthem gonna be? Anything like that?
I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast on it, and there's some on there that I kind of like. I'm kind of liking the Reba McEntire under for the what is it? The fucking
Anthem.
yeah.
You think she's gonna keep it clean? The country star is gonna keep it clean and not add too much to it.
Well, I think they were talking like it's only ever gone over once. It's
Really?
like every time it's gone under. It's so I think that could be some money. Now watch, it's going to be the longest one ever. She's going to be holding that high note.
5.5 minute anthem.
Yeah. What do you
Taylor
think
Swift
color
problem?
Gatorade?
That's got to be red because I think the Chiefs are gonna win, so they're probably drinking red Gatorade on the sideline.
No, it's never like that.
They're gonna be that.
Or orange.
They're gonna be red either way because if San Francisco wins, they're gonna be drinking red Gatorade too.
I have a feeling it's going to be purple.
Yeah.
Purple. That's a wild card. I don't think I've ever seen purple get dumped on somebody. I think it's always been blue or red.
I forget,
Maybe.
honestly.
Maybe it'll be yellow.
This is always a topic, and I never remember what like the normal thing is.
It's just a total crapshoot. I mean, if I'm a player, I would just text. I would ask the staff like, "Hey, what Gatorade we got today?" And just before the game, and then just shoot a text off to like whoever, be like, "It's red." Put the
All
fucking
of our
mortgage on
shit
it.
is red. Put the money on red.
If you see some major line movement before kick, you know that happened.
There's so many
Um,
people fuck with that one too.
give me a winner and a score.
24, 21 Chiefs.
3-0. Niners. I don't fucking know. No, it's gonna be like 32 to like 28. It's gonna be the Chiefs.
I think it's going to be 14-28
Niners.
Chiefs. I don't know. I don't
wanted to
honestly. I
say-
don't know. I think of
I
it.
wanted to say Niners.
I don't know who to pick. I weirdly want the Chiefs. My brain is telling me Chiefs. I've watched enough football to know that the 49ers have been like the best team all year.
But it's Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. That's the thing that holds you back. Is like at what point does this Cinderella story come to a screeching halt?
I
'Cause the
don't know,
biggest-
man.
all of the Chiefs guys have been there before, so they're not going to be worried on the big stage. But Purdy might be.
A lot of the 49ers guys went there too with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, but Purdy didn't. That's the thing.
All right,
And
and
he's throwing the ball.
he had a when the wheels come off for him, they come off. I don't think the Chiefs have enough to make them come off, and they came off last game too, and he had an unbelievable second half, and
Chiefs still got Chris Jones on the line.
yeah, Chris Jones is a
So
beast.
he's still like an absolute animal.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Like I got the over on sacks for him for the game.
I think it's going to be like 21-14 Chiefs.
I think so.
Yeah. If it
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
under, the Chiefs are going to win.
You guys are the football gurus over here. I've watched like 3 minutes of actual football this year, and it was the Patriots, so it wasn't real football.
I just was betting on teams I liked.
I picked a bad season to become a Patriots season ticket holder.
Pick the worst season.
Yeah, in my lifetime, certainly. Well, not in my conscious lifetime.
Yeah, I was gonna say in our conscious, like back in the '90s at Schaefer Stadium, I've heard it was pretty fucking bad.
Well, I mean, the year I was born, they went to the Super Bowl. They lost. And then there was some thin years after that, and then Brady came around. 2001, 2000. And it was history
Nice.
from there. Let's hope the Celtics have a magical year.
We're gonna eat a pumpkin in June if they win.
Yeah, I'll preserve it somehow.
What the
Oh,
fuck
don't
is a
even preserve
pumpkin?
it.
I painted my like my Halloween pumpkin, the Celtics pumpkin. It still hasn't even like shown any signs of rotting. It's symbolic, that's for
Jesus
sure.
Christ, it's February.
I know.
do you
We're
mean?
all gonna
that's
take a
rough?
bite of it if the fucking Celtics win the title.
My girl painted one too, and it was right next to it, and it like fell apart. Mine's just perfect because it has the Celtics on it.
Holy crap! This might be like a weird sports juju type thing going on. If that thing's still alive in February.
Don't even
That's
touch it,
true.
Jacob.
Then I'd be like, what the heck? If it's
Don't
June,
even touch it. It's got to stay where it is for
not
forever.
touched. No,
We got to
no.
do a weekly recap on Jacob's pumpkin. What's the status of the pumpkin?
You gotta
I'll
take a
swap it
picture.
some-
You have to like a ruler next to it, and like make sure it's not like sinking down or anything.
I'll try to pull the heist of a century and like swap it.
Put it up on the screen.
True, we would never know. All right, boys, let's wrap it up here.
You guys got anything else for this?
No.
No. All right. This has been the Banner Report. Thank you for following us. Follow us on socials, everything, on Twitter, on YouTube, on the Apple Pods, Spotify, everything. I've been Cody. That's been Steve. That's been Jacob. This has been the Banner Report. Thank you. Like and subscribe. And as always, go Celtics.
Go Celtics.